Hello, everybody. This is JW with National Live Scan Association. It's another glorious day of Live Scan Cafe. And today we have two special guests. Some of you guys might have talked to them before online or through our communication portals. Today is Travis and Alita. Travis is out right now trying to find his coffee cup, but he will be back in a few minutes here. But right now, we're going to jump straight into a few things. So we're going to talk about first different things about what's going on in the industry. We're going to jump over to our other session regarding the business you could do from your home as a fingerprint home-based operation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. I got Alita here. Alita, how you doing today?
I am great, and yourself?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. How's your week coming?
Oh, productive. Working smarter, not harder. But very productive.
Well, that's a good thing there. I was going through you guys' reviews and somebody slipped by some type of A++ thing. But I want you to think about the question for right now. But I'm going to ask your husband when he comes back online, what do you mean by this A+ thing I'm hearing out there on the website? So we got to keep that a surprise. That's going to be his first question we're going to get when he comes in. Okay, what is A++? He let that one slip out, but it's okay. We're going to make that one work. We're going to make that one work there, though. Last time we did the session here was a couple of hiccups we had. We wanted to go ahead and do a revisit or a remix for the session from last week and just do a brand new one with the same talking points, but a lot more cleaner and a lot more effective for our listeners who are on right now for the live stream, and also for our guests who's joined us for the replay later on, today or tomorrow, where the case may be. So what I'm going to do right now is just jump in here and bring up some points about what we could do for a business. And give me a few seconds here. This should have been pulled up at first, but somehow I clicked the wrong button here. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here for a minute here. And while I'm trying to stall right now, Alita, tell us about what you did this week. I heard something you did this week here. It's the secret, but I won't tell nobody, but tell us what you did this week. And I know what it is.
If it's a secret, then that's G14 classified information.
Understood. Okay, I understand there. I'm going to go ahead and push this next button here and see what happens. Hopefully I got the right thing going here. Let's find out if it's the right one here.
Oh, all right. This is a nice PowerPoint.
Oh, I know, huh? The brother got skills, right? Yeah. I wonder we have to put this together.
I wonder who.
All right. Last time we talked about workplace and what we could do, workspace, what we could do to help us work from a home, and things we need to follow up on about environment, the lighting, ergonomics, and things like that. And also a vibe, make sure you got a good vibe for it. So jump in any time here, like we did before, and give us your comments and feedback and suggestions for those actually on this live stream or participating on the replay in this one here. First thing I have down here right now is going to be the open and closed work areas. What I mean by that there, this difference, when I talked to one of our friends in the past, currently, when I talked to one of our colleagues, she shared with me how she's working from home, also trying to run another business called Raising Your Kids during COVID-19 and scheduling for the classes, make sure they're on the computers on time, make sure they're prepared with the work, put them someplace was nice and quiet, keep them away from the television, make sure the cell phones turn off, all this stuff. She explained just to deal with the kids, not counting her other job that she had trying to run from home also. So we took that information and applied the same thing when you're working from home, when you're running your own fingerprint business, because the same principles apply. So I mean over here about open and closed workspace. I'm putting over here, so I should be putting over here because it's over that way there. It's woman over that way there. Open for work, open and closed work areas. We're referring to, are you in the living room working, or are you in an area like the office or a closed door in your bedroom, door is closed? What you should consider when you're working from a living room or from your countertop in the kitchen or the open area, or followed by you working in the bedroom or someplace quiet, or maybe like an extra large closet. Some people got those big walk-in closets too. They got it set up as the office too. Any thoughts on that there though, or considerations?
Yes, in regards to your working from home, it's three things that come to my mind. And that's preparation, organization, and scheduling. And Travis just distracted me because I said, "Oh, he needs my help." But so because he put his yeah. Okay, so yeah, preparation. You want to prepare. So often, since we're talking about a work from home business, we put so much energy into working for others and being on time and making sure our clothes are right and making sure we have everything structured around going to clock in for somebody else. So I would say prepare for your own business, so you could be successful. That same energy you put into working for others, being organized, you have to have a system, know where things are, know how much, and as far as organization, you're scheduling. Yeah, we schedule for the kids, we schedule for work, we schedule for everything, but don't forget to schedule some time in for yourself to step back and breathe, to think, to regroup, to reassess what your goals and your plans are. So as far as your workspace, I think these three things contributes to good morning, contribute to a successful home-based business. And I do know several small business owners that started up their businesses, but these were some key elements that seem to go lacking. I don't want to say missing, but it's just an inconsistency in these areas. So based for your business like you do when you're clocking in for someone else.
That's true. That is true. Um, how about distractions? Well, I know that sometimes regarding distractions when you're trying to work from home or from any place you may be at, is sometimes the biggest distraction might be your cell phone.
Yeah.
So a lot of people need to take in consideration if they're using the same cell phone or the same cell phone number for their work and for their personal use, they might want to revisit that thought and do something differently. Because when you're working on with your cell phone, you should focus strictly on your business calls, on business hours. But you're getting these texts, you're getting these tweets, you're getting all these other things popping up on your cell phone. You can't tell if it's work related or not. It's going to distract you. So typically what I do, while I'm at our office we have here, my cell phone goes to mute. I don't even touch the cell phone until I get back at the house. Now people get upset because, well, we called you on your cell phone and we have an important thing. Well, okay, like what? What you doing tonight? To me, that's not important. So pretty much people know how to reach us. It's going to be at the office, and our cell phones pretty much are off or turned down to keep us from being distracted when we work. It could be other things like the alerts you have on your tablets or on your computer. If it's not really related towards your business productivity, you might want to disable those temporarily. And for example, what I did myself, when we started the Streamline session here, all our calls come through our computer systems and our cell phones. So when I did a stream right here, when I do this live streaming, I went ahead and disabled the phone system on this particular computer to keep from being distracted when we have this live streaming session for those that are participating in it right now or those looking at the replay. I had all of that disabled. Any thoughts on that one there, Travis? Yep, he got himself muted right now. I'm going to tell him about it, but he's muted.
You can hear me now?
Yes, we can.
I'm just happy to be here. Looking out of work, but I'm here.
And he actually was prepared. He's just having technical difficulties, that
that's how it goes. Sometimes those technical difficulties could be distractions too.
Yes.
Things, the environment, the vibe. You got the vibe going, it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
For those who got a chance to talk to Alita or Travis, they're part of our compliance team. They're based in Texas. And if you talk to Alita, like I said, told some folks before, that means you're in trouble or you did something very, very good. Nothing in between. Okay. So if you get her on a line or a chat session or email stuff, she has a big heart, but she doesn't play.
I concur.
She doesn't play there.
If I could, I would just say one of the things that will really help is so often we see today where just in society where people have jobs and they really don't take it serious. when you are handling like the business that we're all in, when you're dealing with fingerprints and background checks, it helps to understand that this is the livelihood of people. This is the difference between whether a person can afford, for example, to stay in the United States or be separated from their families, to lose a job or gain a job, or whatever the situation may be. So when it comes down to those things that could be distracting, you just want to take every precaution to make phones, when it comes down to phone, cell phones, different things like that, you want anything that will come up to cause a distraction to where something can happen to where you're not on top of your game, your A game.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw it out there now. So very important.
That makes sense. That really does make sense there. Let's move on here. And that's a very good point. People don't realize the importance behind fingerprinting and the repercussions can have if a person does it the wrong way, or why people try to get it done for different reasons, especially in this day and age.
Right.
Another thing we should consider when you do working from home on your workspace, you should take in consideration to have clients on site or have no clients at all at your location. So what I mean by that there, do you want the clients to come to your home office, or you want to travel where the clients are coming, you come to the client's location instead? If they come into your home office or to your venue, towards the venue, is it enough space, or is it prepared the right way, or is that first impression or that vibe fits the business, what you're trying to provide, the service you're providing to your client? So that's something you might want to consider. And if they come into your home, is it accessible? You know what I mean by like for wheelchair access and things like that. Or are they coming to your home for fingerprinting, they're walking down the hallway, turning left, past the bathtub, past the shower, into a room over there? That might not be the best way, or the best way to have your clients come to you working from home. You might want to consider places like having an office within your garage, or the very first room, or the living room when they come into your house, if you choose to have it like that. We do have members who work from home doing fingerprinting businesses, but most of them have an office right by the front door, or they use their garage or part of the garage and renovate into an office, or another part of the house, probably like a second house on their property as the office too. Just things they could consider.
I have thoughts on that. Please,
Okay.
please consider that whole on-site, off-site option for your clients, because you may have the best service ever, but when they walk up to your house, yeah, you love your house. You've been living there for 30 years, but to some, it may look like the house is 100 years old. Stuff in the yard, not groomed. It can totally misrepresent your brand. It can totally misrepresent your service. It misrepresents you. Now, not saying there's something wrong with your home, but does this reflect my goals and what I'm trying to achieve? So please consider that. And is your college son home sitting on the porch when they pull up smoking his cigarette? Things like that is a turnoff. So I'm not discouraging anyone from working from home. I know a lot of times when you're starting up a business, you're trying to do the most cost-effective option. And at the end of the day, that technically could cost you more, because now you can get bad reviews, people eerie about coming to your location. They're going to tell people about it. And this is real stuff that we hear all the time. Okay. Is your house 2 doors down from a liquor store? It may just be more cost effective to find you a day office or the nearest Starbucks. I don't know. But please don't focus so much on your budget that it end up costing you more money when you're considering on-site or off-site. Be open.
That's true. And it also applies when you have an office at a different location, maybe an office at a commercial building place like that. It still makes the same point. Your location. Do you want to have an office where they could go to, and it's right next to a liquor store, or right 2 doors down from a liquor store, or someplace could be a distraction. So you have to remember, when you service your clients, you have to pick out your target market and have your venue in that market where they're accustomed to and they feel comfortable going to. Now, I do know some businesses that have their own physical office few doors down from a liquor store, and they're doing a lot of business. But that's their target market. That's their audience who understand that they talk the language and know what's going on. So just make sure you market towards the audience you choose to market to, where they feel comfortable coming to your place of business, in terms of home or physical office. As long as you feel that positive vibe and the environment is conducive to your business, also environment where they feel welcome to, and also to get fingerprinted at. Because sometimes people get kind of nervous and anxious when you fingerprint them. So you make sure you got the positive vibe going. There's different things you could do about that one there. And if you're working from home or an office, another thing to keep your productivity going is something that I had discussed with Travis before we got started here, is about the lighting. Now, if you got an office by a window, if it's good lighting coming through there, then use the sunlight. But something might be gloomy out there, and what you use for inside your house for lighting, it might be the soft type of lights and stuff. We're pushing like a nice, relaxed mode, but kind of sleepy, making that's cozy and stuff. That's not gonna make you be productive. Get the lighting that reflects sunlight to keep you up and going, to get you motivated and keep you fresh. You know, hold on for a second. Mention fresh here. I got to brag about this. I forgot to say that it's Big J today. It was Big J cup. You know.
Oh, here you go.
Here
you go. Well, cheers to you.
And shows the picture.
Oh, don't leave me out.
Why do I
have to do that one there? Oh, I needed that one there.
While you're, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It's funny because I'm the complete opposite of Travis. Like, I love, because there's so many things floating around in my head, I have to control my anxiety. So I personally like softer light. In my office space, I have a lamp that if I don't have clients, I turn off the main light, and it's just really, 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 it almost look like somewhere you can do a counseling session in there. It's not dark, but it's enough for me to see, and I can gather my thoughts. I stay productive in those areas, and it allow me to step back and center myself, pray or whatever I need to do. But I'm more productive in softer lighting. Now, when my clients come, so it's not creepy, they don't understand what this is. They need to be able to see what's going on, see what's around them. So that, I just wanted to make the point, as far as productivity, I'm more productive in softer light, you know, but have those options and stay focused, because it's about the client. So it's one of those being prepared type things, and distractions and vibes. And what I said earlier, don't leave yourself out. We tend to do that in all our hustle and grind. We leave us out. So just wanted to share that.
You brought something up regarding working with another technician sometime at a workplace. And some people have the environment their way that fits them perfect. You got the vibe going, but if you're working from home and you got two different people that are working from home, might be the same service or might be two different services, might want to consider having a little space in between to have your own vibe going when you guys working at the house or even at the office. And when have a different environment that's a good fit for both you and the other colleague you're working with when a client comes into your workplace for services. So you might want to think about that. So what you just said there, like, to make sense. When you're there grinding and hustling and stuff, you got your environment going a certain way that's more productive for you. And the client comes in, you kind of change your environment around to make sure they're alert and they're not trying to freak out thinking it's like another fragger crew. No, it's one of those crazy things going on right there. Just want to make sure everything is safe. Because they walk into you guys' lab, and they got labs, folks, after listening here. They got labs, and the lights are real low. They might have some second thoughts.
No.
So.
It's funny because we literally, my office at our business it almost is a mirror as far as things. There is our second home. So we have everything that you would need, from personal hygiene items to food to things like that to help us. To me, that's part of productivity. If I don't have to stop to go home to do something, I don't have to stop because I got a headache, I have tea, I have coffee, I have all of those things there. And he's right. Travis and I at home, we have separate spaces. And Travis likes to play jazz the entire day. I like it quiet, but sometimes I do like music. So we just start in setting it up. What are some things that we need to be successful and productive, each one of us, and still work together and not compromise the experience for our client and the quality of service?
True. That is true. You mentioned music and the environment like that. Do you play music when your clients come to you guys?
Yes,
Like
we have a soft jazz
okay.
or yeah.
And why? Does it help them relax, or they just have no choice? So why you have the music going?
In my magic lab,
Magic Lab it is, okay.
in my magic lab, there is an equation. Good jazz music plus my jokes equals excellent fingerprint cards.
I like that. I like that.
And most not everybody's really not everybody's into jazz, but for the most part, those who are into jazz, they actually catch it. But you know, it goes along too with that study just talking about you know, the music. That whole thing with what music does to people when they go inside of a store. For years, you know, it's this thing where they say, you know, this music causes you to buy, you know, and without even thinking about it. And then there are some stores, I won't name any names, that for years, but one particular store for years, when you walk into this major store, it will be totally quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't hear anything because they didn't want to play on what they say the people's emotion with the music. But later on, now you walk into that store and music is playing. So it does have the music does have a way of I guess it can do both. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on your interaction, and it can calm a person. If you're playing the right type of music, it could really bring some people at ease or whatever. So
Understood. Understood. So I'm assuming your music is not real loud, just real low for they can hear it to set the tone, which is pretty good. Some
And
places that you go to might have other distractions that might muffle out or cover other distractions on the side, so it makes a big point.
see, it, but that may not be applicable for everybody's business model. For our business model, it's perfect. Our setting from the time they enter their first interaction, once they get back to our lab, all of that goes. So by the time they make it in there, it just fits the exchange and the interaction. Because this getting your background screening for whatever reason can be stressful, and it can be tedious. You had it depending on where you had to drive from.
Mm-hmm.
Just traffic could be stressful. So once they get in there, our tones match the environment. If you guys go read our reviews on Point Alliance, on Google, it'll give you a better idea of our whole objective, our whole goal. And we treat everybody. I don't know if I'm going ahead of you, JW.
It's okay.
But no, I can pause. I can pause.
You're doing good. Okay. Well, I want to do this. Go ahead and catch me at this particular point right here. We got a couple of questions I want to address. They mentioned certain thing about the music. Also consider some fresh air at your workspace.
Mm-hmm.
Have a window open up or some type of clean air system, like a fan with a filter that circulates around, keeps air circulating the house or your office for fresh air. Or like I mentioned a couple of times, and Travis and I discussed this before, when we fingerprint, we have a fan behind us, blowing that fresh air from behind us towards the front, maybe towards the window, out to open area. We got some fresh air moving away from you, when you fingerprint, you don't want the air, when you talk to folks, when you fingerprint, just sit right there in front of you. You want some type of circulation, when you get some fresh air in. We call airline days, I call it clean air in, dirty air out. So just have some place, get some fresh air circulating when you fingerprint, and if you're working from home, open up a window. Put a fan behind you, get the circulation, and blow the air out away from you guys. Just think about that there. Or get yourself a fan or a system with a filter to circulate the air to keep it fresh.
We actually purchased a fan that has a remote, so that helps us from even stopping and gotta go touching on stuff, and all of that. That remote is over on the side. It has 3 different levels. It's a pretty nice fan too. It's a tower, and the remote is sanitized and over near our workstation, where if our clients actually need to turn it up or down, it's kind of like going somewhere and they give you a remote to their TV, so it just kind of helps set us a space that is about the client at that moment.
Understood. And I'll jump into WORKSPACE regarding accessibility and ergonomics. We talked earlier in the day about making it accessible for folks who might have some physical limitations to come to your place of business or your home, like a wheelchair. So if you're working from home, if it's in the garage, you may not need a wheelchair, but if you're working from home and you come into your house and there's steps there, you need to provide some type of way to get your client up there if they're going to be in the wheelchair. So just things to think about that there. And ergonomics. What type of table are you going to have to fingerprint on or do your business? We have a table, and I know you guys do too out there on OnPointe, where it goes up and down. You can adjust your table height. Since you guys 2 different technicians, or moreover that you guys place the businesses over there, I know you guys got different technicians, different heights and stuff like that. So you guys got those tables for your labs to adjust them for them. So it makes a pretty good idea.
Also, just yesterday, one of my clients, she just had knee surgery, needed 4 ink cards. She couldn't stand. So in that, we have several tables, different types of tables that and seating, that if our clients needed to sit, depending on their scenario, we can comfortably service them. And she actually mentioned that in her review, and she was so apologetic. And I'm like, no, you came here. We anticipate these types of scenarios so we can effectively service all our clients.
That makes sense too. I'm gonna go ahead and the next one here. We got a couple of questions I'd like to get answered for the folks out there. So let me just change the page over there for a moment there. And by communication, let you guys go with that there, but I want to answer some questions we're getting sent to us here. And let me get this one up. It's a pretty good question too. And this is from a friend out there, from Miss Reese, regarding building a notary adding fingerprinting to my business. I have 2 other people that only want to do fingerprinting. Can we do that? Yes, you can. But there's a lot of buts behind that but. I'm not sure that sounded right there, but I meant to say.
JW, one butt at a time, one butt at a time.
Oh, that's right. There's a lot of things that you can take consideration, but there I go again. You could do fingerprinting along with your notary business. The question going to be is, what type of fingerprinting you're referring to and what state that you're in regarding, is it going to be a live scan fingerprinting where you can fingerprint on a machine, or it's going to be where you fingerprint on paper and ink card fingerprinting. Either way, you could do fingerprinting even as a notary. But let me clarify that for a moment. Certain states require you to have a fingerprint license or a certification certified by that state to fingerprint. For example, California. I'm also a notary, so even though I'm a notary, does not give me permission to fingerprint in California. I need to have a certification to the Department of Justice for California to fingerprint, which is a lifetime certification. Another example could be Illinois. You need to have a specific license in order to do live scan in the state of Illinois. You could be a notary But if we plan to do live scan electronic fingerprinting in Illinois and transmit to Illinois, you need to have a specific license or licenses to do that service in the state of Illinois, being a notary or not. Now, the states out there don't require you to have a specific license or requirement to fingerprint in their state, besides a general business license. So you could do that in other states, but always double check with your state law enforcement agency to follow up on the different guidelines and requirements, because they may change from time to time. What might be true today during this recording might be different next week or next year. We listen to a replay. So always double check with your state law enforcement agency for clarification. But pretty much, if you meet the state requirements, you could do fingerprinting also, along with you being a notary. Any feedback there, guys?
No.
We'll go ahead and move Travis off here for a second here. Put you up there. Let's change this around here for a second. And I'll do this here for you for a second. I'll leave if I can do this here. I'm gonna let this stay like this for a second. Guys, bear with me. I'm doing some magic here.
I just wanted to encourage, I don't know, I don't want to say her or him, or I want to encourage you, Sharon, how would you pronounce it, Sharon?
Sharon.
Sharon, you need, it is a smart idea to be as creative but relevant in adding services with where the economy is going and the state of where everything is. We have to have more than one thing that we do, but not be all over the place. And fingerprinting and notary, they go hand in hand. You know, those are two really good services because we do both. We're actually signing agents as well. So I want to encourage you that you're thinking in the right capacity, and don't overthink it either, because it's with the question you asked, you got two people that only want to do the fingerprinting side. I'm gonna tell you right now, when y'all start fingerprinting and those clients coming, you're gonna need some people dedicated to fingerprinting. So that's not a bad thing if they don't want to. Now at our lab, everybody is required to do everything. Like my people, they have to know how to do everything, because I don't know what the next phone call is going to be. I don't know who the next client is going to be. And I'm trying to secure every bag I can get, right? So I need everybody to know how to do everything, but that's my requirement for my business model. And certifications and all that stuff cost too much, so I'm investing too much. So I need everybody to do everything. You can, so whole point to answer your question, as what JW said, and yes, they can just be dedicated, because that will come in handy. Some people that strictly concentrate on fingerprinting. But I love that you're thinking how to expand and add services. So I just want to encourage you with that.
It's kind of cool that she was, I think, excuse me, the next part of her question came in. Do the other two people need to be a notary? And you wind up saying it, but I was thinking it too. When you talk about somebody working with you, you guys are in one ship, and the whole goal is to make sure that that ship can sail without issues. And if an issue arises, everybody need to know how to do everything. You don't want anybody that say, well, I can't do this, because for every person that can't do it, if you have the other two that is occupied doing what they know how to do, then you have business that you have to turn away because one person does not know how to do what it is that you do. And so the best, and it's just a suggestion, the best model to do is everybody know how to do and be certified to do everything. And that way, hey, there are no hiccups, because if two is busy, the third one got it.
And it adds to the experience for the client, because there are people that initially come, for some reason they didn't know we do notary. Oh, I was going to try to find or go to the bank or something. You guys do notary? Yes. So instead of us having to stop see if the next person is available, see if, they can do it. Oh yeah, we can do it. Pull out that our merchant, our credit card machine. Oh yeah, it'll be X amount of dollars. Go ahead and collect that payment and provide that service. So it actually is a plus as far as everybody know how to do everything and not have to uh, put shift the client to somebody else. I hope
That's
what I
true.
said made sense.
I
Yeah.
like the fact you said, first thing Alita just said, you didn't pay attention, collect that payment, then provide the service. Remember that. Collect, get that bag,
Get that bag.
then provide the service. Plenty of times they come to your location, be a home or the office, and you're doing the fingerprinting. As soon as you're finished, they're walking out thinking that's it. Because they thought their friend background check was free, made the company pay for their friend's background check, but not for theirs. So always let them know ahead of time. They have to pay ahead of time before you get the services. If you can't, try and get them to pay online before you even come to your location to reduce the physical contact. But get your money first before you provide the services. Plenty of times they said, "Oh, the credit card is bad. I didn't bring my wallet. Can I come back tomorrow and pay you?" We've been all to those different excuses. And make a long story short, get your money first, then provide the service. That will save you a lot much. You will think about this video right now. When you didn't do that, we're going to tell you right now, we told you so.
Yeah. That was a really, just the subject, and I'll say something real quick. That was a really uncomfortable, I don't want to say really uncomfortable. It was a little uncomfortable because sometimes we operate our business as where we are and not where we're going. And so we, don't want to charge a certain amount or don't want to say it's like, oh, I don't want to seem this way. Honey, if you devalue yourself, people, you can't expect nobody else to value you. And some people have good intentions and they are all over the place and they schedule and cancel or they, all these different things. So you want to have any reason you hear that $15, it's some people have to work a whole hour to do what it take you 5 minutes to do as a notary to get the money. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And in closing, you got to right here, get that cash flow, get that money, forget those bags first.
Yeah.
And for those who are listening, you can do mobile services in any state. I don't care if it's going to be notarization if you got your license for the state, or it could be a live scan or ink card if the state allows you to do it, or the agency allows you to do live scan, but you can do ink cards in those states. Now, we get a lot of questions from time to time about what state can I do live scan in, what state I cannot do live scan in. It depends on a lot of factors. And this session here is not to go into detail, because that's a course into itself, several courses into one, because that's the lengthy subject. But to summarize it pretty much, you can do ink cards in any state if you meet the state guidelines. It doesn't mean that person in your state needs ink card. They might need your ink card for a different state. Because in most cases, if they're in, let's say, Illinois, in Chicago, for example, and they need ink cards, they might need them ink cards for a different state. They may come to you for a live scan because they might need a live scan that's required by the state of Illinois. So just keep that in mind. In Illinois, you do need to have a license through Illinois to do live scan and to transmit to the government agency for Illinois for live scan. And how do you find those out there? You can contact us later on, and we could get you started on one of our training programs, point you in the right direction there, or you go ahead and schedule a session with us by going to livescanchat.com. We point you in the right direction. But when you schedule a session with us to speak to a member advisor, we're not going to teach you the information. We share information to you to get you going to the right direction. But we do encourage you to take advantage of our training programs to keep you out of trouble. Best I could say for that one right there. All right, then let's go ahead and jump onto the next slide here, guys. Put this back up there for a moment.
Sharon, I hope this was helpful, because so often I sit in on so many webinars and things like this, and they answer generally, and I still walk away kind of feeling like I really don't know any more than I did before I asked the question. So I really hope that we gave some insight and guidance on your specific questions, but keep going, keep building. Okay.
That is true. Communication, positive energy, mindset, work environment, home phone, mobile services, internet, security, call, email, text, mailing, online platforms. Communication is a big word. And you guys could jump in any time, but pretty much what they said early on when they work together, and consider this too, when you're working from home and you're doing the right things and your business starts to take off faster than you think it's going to be, you can't do everything by yourself. I'm going to tell you that right now. You cannot do everything by yourself. So let's start planting those seeds to where you may be able to have another person provide you assistance as you're going off-site for mobile fingerprinting, or somebody that answers the phone calls while you're fingerprinting. You just want to make sure you have somebody there to give you a hand, because once you start doing things the right way and the business starts to pick up, you're going to need some assistance. So always communicate that stuff to your family, what your expectation is going to be in that business, because they might think it just be you by yourself doing it, but we have a partner with you later on. It might be a second person, a third person in your home providing services too, or perhaps working virtually, taking the phone calls. But communicate that with your family, what the expectations are, for they won't be surprised too. Because sometimes those attitudes or those personalities will come out with the quickness as your business grow. Because now they're losing the meantime with the mommy or daddy. So just something to consider right there.
JW, I would like to jump in on the positive energy mindset. Now I'm gonna give this information for free. Normally I charge on the side for this type of information because I'm the counselor. But listen, I would like to tell anybody who is trying to or thinking about starting a business where you're dealing with the public, if you are not a people person, fingerprinting is not for you. Okay? There are so many people who get jobs dealing with the public and they are not people. They are not a people person. And what it is a train wreck ready to happen. When you talk about having positive energy and a positive mindset, that is something that that has to be within yourself. One thing I learned is that you cannot offend a robot. Now, I knew you were gonna laugh at it. You cannot offend a robot. How do I know you cannot offend a robot? Because I have insulted Google. I have insulted Alexa because they don't listen to me good.
The lady at the checkout lane, put your items back in the bag.
The lady at the little machine, the self checkouts, they don't listen well. And I found myself one day and I asked Google to do something for me and he did not do it. And I said, that was no help to me whatsoever. And you know what he said in a very polite voice? I'm sorry you feel that way. I mean, he didn't sound upset, anything at my tone. Now I'm being funny and facetious, but the thing about it is this: a mindset, a positive, a mindset has to be first of all determined within yourself that I anticipate, which means I am prepared for a negative encounter. Okay, I'm ready for it. You can always, but you expect every call and every interaction to be a good one. Two things: you're expecting every interaction to be a good one, but you anticipate, which means you be prepared for a negative one because we're dealing with the public. So once you encounter that negative energy from a person, your mindset is already that it is. The word mind is set. If something is set, then it cannot be changed. Okay. If you set your mind, you cannot, nobody else can unset it. You're the only one that can unset your mind. So I stress that to anybody. If you're going to go into a business dealing with people, you have to, number one, be a people person. Number two, you have to already have your mindset that you are prepared and that your shoulders can handle it. And if you're anything like Arletha, Olitha is a prime example of knowing how to not allow you. Her whole thing is good customer service, and she's gonna get her bags now. She's gonna get her bags. You're not gonna change that. You're not gonna move her from that. She can smile at you and decline you. We will not be able to do that. And another thing, unlearn. Don't feel like you have to always apologize for the things or your policies that you have set when you get ready to deal with people. You set those policies up. Those things help you maintain your positive energy. Reading is fundamental. Everybody doesn't do it. But when we make the policies, it's up to every individual to read. So when they want to veer off from that, you don't have to change your energy. You don't have to, I'm sorry, because I'm not sorry. It's your job to read it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you have these things in mind, you keep your positive energy because it's yours. Keep your mindset because it's yours. Then you'll find you have smoother work days, and then you'll learn how to deal with it. And as your business grows, guess what? Now we brag a lot at OnPointe Alliance. We have over 200 plus 5-star reviews. But guess what that means? As the numbers increases and as the business grows, that means there's going to be more disgruntled people coming, and there won't always be 5 stars. But we'll deal with it accordingly. But those will not cause us to change our position. It will not cause us to change our mindset, because once you deal with a disgruntled person, guess what the good thing is? You go right back into expecting a great encounter with a new client. So just want to throw that in. I'm big on positive energy and the mindset. All I can say is read my reviews.
So speaking of reviews, what's this A++ thing I'm hearing about?
I think that's my new name. I may have to get fingerprinted just to change my name to Mr. Travis A++.
I like that.
Basically, when the clients come into my lab, I always let them know. I inform them that as the professional technician I am, that I give everybody an A+ upon coming in. And this A+, you get this, you're given this grade based off of certain things, and you can lose, or your grade can drop depending on how well you follow instructions, how well you relax and allow me to lead, how well you pay attention. But the A++ came from, most people would come into my lab and they leave with the A because they don't remember my name. So they come in and I ask them, I introduce myself and I say, hey, my name is Travis. I'll be your technician today. And you're here for whatever the service they're here for. And they say yes. And then I'll say, okay, can you do me a favor and tell me my name?
A++?
And they say, I say, lady, I just told you. My name is Travis. I'll be your technician. You're here for one ink card. Can you do me a favor? Can you tell me my name? They don't remember. So they laugh. And I say, well, I want you to walk out of here proudly with your A, because you have lost your plus. Very few hold on to the plus. But that's a whole nother thing about how I explain to them about how in today's society we answer on autopilot, because we have so much stuff going on in our minds. And when you walk into a place and somebody can say, hey, you can say, my name is JW, and I'll be servicing you today. Nice to meet you. They say, nice to meet you. Can you do me a favor and tell me my name? And they'd be like, huh? They didn't hear it because they answered on autopilot. It was just being polite and say, nice to meet you. But I never did think about your name. So that's what it is. So now in my reviews, they're referring to me as Travis A++.
I want to say something. And if you go and look at his reviews, you know how some people give reviews. They'll either give 5 stars, say something nice. If Travis gets 10 reviews, his name is going to be mentioned in 8 or 9 of them, which is amazing. 2, I teach here the standard our intake process dictates how the whole entire appointment is going to go. Okay. And it allow us to get a feel of them. It allow them to see what the expectation is, us to have control of what's going to happen and what's not going to happen, set the standard of what their understanding is upon them coming into our office. If they were running all morning, this is a time for them to stop and breathe. And so that exchange, that's why I mentioned earlier, our business model, everything from the people at the front desk, when they sign in, they even know, listen, you guys are part of our review. I need y'all to smile, be nice, tell my clients to have a seat, and so on and so forth. So by the time Travis can have this exchange with them, they're cracking up. I mean, cracking up. Then he gets them in the lab, and he has when you go in, all of this stuff on a whiteboard written backwards. He's a lefty, so he can write backwards really neat. But as he does his introduction to what's finna happen, setting expectations so the client and us can work together and get these prints done as quick as possible. He lets them know, in the event you start wanting to help me and take over, I'm going to have you look up. And they read this sign that says, stay out of my business. And they just crack up. I'm like, what place do you go? Be told to stay out somebody's business. And it's funny. And it's just his sense of humor. He can pull it off. And he does. And people never forget. And it's just customer relations. So all of that plays a part in that positive energy. And the last thing I would say is, because we know what value of service we have to offer, we understand we didn't just set policies to look out for us. These policies protect us and our clients. So when you know who you are, know what you have to offer, you can stay here and not be moved, have a disgruntled person. And it's awesome that when you have more than one person on your team, because I've had somebody come in snatching stuff, and before they left, they act, and I was assigned to service them. I didn't, even though inside I was literally shaking, I got them into the lab, but I asked Travis to service them. By the end of that appointment, they asked Travis, where was the young lady who initially helped me? I was horrible to her. And they came and apologized. This was this big, this big old guy, tears in his eyes, asking me to forgive him and how professional I was. And he had me in tears because he's standing there in tears. He just had a bad day. And he was of a different ethnicity. So it's easy to say why he was mean to me. But that just proved it is not always a thing of it. Some people just have a bad day. You maintain your composure and where you are, not be moved. And he left there with a different attitude and was able to do what all of us hopefully is taught: apologize, take responsibility, forgive yourself, and move on. So I just wanted to share that.
Before I move on to the next question, I got one question for you. Did he left feeling like he did, but did he leave you guys with a big tip?
Oh yes, actually,
okay.
Yes, he did.
Get that bags. Okay.
Actually, he did.
Well, what you guys talked about? Yes, sir. Go ahead, Travis.
No, I was just saying he did.
Good. We have experiences like that too. That's a discussion for another time. I could tell you some serious experiences, but pretty much we covered about you guys' positive engagement, the mindset, and Travis. That was. I gotta say, can I get a witness? We talking about the mindset. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that. I got the vibe feeling now.
Yes.
So we thank you for that one. There is very good information and informative. You talk about your work environment. Let's discuss the home phones, the internet services, texting, emailing, and online services. Not mentioning the type of service, but what type of service they should consider regarding communication. So home phone versus cell phone versus two cell phones, same number, different numbers. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Just give me one or two good points about those.
one or two good points. You do, if you're gonna do, we have a crossover because we do provide mobile services.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a landline at our office. We purchased a virtual phone system that links to our landline and our cell phones. We found a good one that we like, that was recommended by National Life Skin Association, that's been working for us. And so we use them all. Again, I try to position myself every scenario and that's going to allow quality. So I recommend all of those things. But if you're going to do it that way, you do have to consider your internet package. Can't have the cheapest one. You don't have to have the most expensive one. And you want to consider what your service area is like, because you may not be able to provide quality service with your internet provider, so you have to go a different route. So I would say those two things.
Especially like web phones, when you talk to the computers, the bandwidth is very important. It really is. Travis, what about when you communicate with your customers? What platforms do you guys use the most? Is it email? Do you call them, text them, or priority mail or FedEx? How do you communicate with your customers most of the time?
Now, I believe that through the system that we do use, it is through text, it's through email. There are instances if we're not really busy, we will place a call to a client. Maybe if they're running like 5 minutes, according to our policy. If they're running like 5 minutes behind, we will place an initial call to get an answer. But like I said, again, it all depends on how busy you are. You may not be able to leave a message because, you know, you're working, you're trying to make money or whatever. So we pretty much use all of them. And that's just a part of the whole branding of OnPointe Alliance. We believe in good customer servicing.
So we
use all.
I would say we is a rule. If you didn't physically talk to them, you send an email and a text message automatically. Just send both. And I have a system that I can do that at the same time. Actually, more than one of our platforms allow us to do that. So there's no excuse, and make notes on that particular profile. Make notes. So it's kind of even. We do it all, do all of them.
Good. Travis, you mentioned income, so a question came in also. Miss Reese ain't playing around with these questions today.
I know.
Everyone else is not sending in questions. She's answering questions for everybody. You know, she's the ambassador for everybody.
I'm getting that vibe from her. I'm liking her already.
Travis, do you mind if I answer that question?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna say something. I don't know if you can handle it, honey. But we were taught by somebody on this screen. We don't compete, we dominate. Okay. And so if it's a saturated business, if it's saturated and there's a bunch of people doing, it doesn't matter right now. And this is what shifted my mindset. Off the top of your head, wherever you are located and providing services, how many different hamburger places is it? And how much is each one of their hamburgers? How close to each other are they? And they did not say, I'm not going to go over here because you can get a 99-cent hamburger over here, a $2 hamburger over here, a $8 hamburger over here, or a $20 hamburger, right? So we don't concentrate on that, because our value of service is what it is versus somebody else's. So that whole saturated, what does that mean? You know, when you come to National Life Scan Association, that's what we were taught. And at first I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Well, if there's a lot of people doing blah, 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 look how many bread, when you go to Walmart, it's 1,000 different bread options. It's so you can, but it's at, you know, what do you have to offer? So I hope I answered that question, because I want to say yes. Oh, you're going to make a whole lot of money, because in some mindsets and some business models, that whole saturated matters. And but it's all a mindset, you know, what you have to offer would dictate if it's saturated, if that's something that can affect you or not. Because all you do, like OnPointe Alliance did, yep, it's people around us doing what we do. But because we do what we do, everybody come to us. And I'm not bragging. It's funny because it's funny because it's just value of service. Dictate.
There you go.
If I can piggyback on that too, the thing about it, and like Olitha just said, you know, it even horses in races, some of them, they have to put blinders on them, because it keeps them from seeing what's on the side of them, and their focus. They have their focus is straight ahead. And in a business like this, when you do have, in our instances, several people that's doing the same thing, this in the same business that we're doing, our focus is ahead to our goal. We're all about pioneering. We're about trailblazing. We have ideas and things that we plan to initiate, that we know nobody else is doing. And one of the things that I get, and if you read again in my reviews, several people will say, I wasn't expecting this. I just did not expect what I got. And I would say, well, that's because, you know, God in all his wisdom, and, you know, me as a mere human, if I could explain it, God in all his infinite wisdom, he only made one of me. And I'm only here at OnPointe. So you won't experience this anywhere else. You will only experience it here at OnPointe Live. So the thing about it, you have to with yourself make up in your mind what is going to be your brand, what are you going to do, what's going to be your niche. And one of the things about it, because when I came on later, that whole thing that JW shared with us, hey, listen, you are not competing. It does not matter what the next person is doing. You are dominating.
I remember that conversation we had.
Yeah, and it was like, wait, first of all, I liked it. And then second of all, it is so true. And it's like, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. What matters is what you do. You do what you do as only you can do, because only you can do it. Don't ask me to repeat that. Go back and watch the video.
And just because this is, you know, JW is you give you the information to check out the classes. We literally, you know, your first mind is, how much is everybody else charging? What is everybody else doing? He kept saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it made me a little bit uncomfortable, because you got to prepare and a checklist and make sure blah, 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 blah. And but see, I'm a good student too. I'm one of the students that did what he said. And I had to trust there's always method to his madness. So I had to trust his advice and not be so analytical. And even if it was uncomfortable, I still did it. And then it all made sense. So that's a big thing. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know if you're ready for that particular answer, because somebody else might teach you, go and do research. We're not taught to do that.
Well, you can research, but most of the thing on research, we already have the answers to.
Yes.
Right.
That's how we got her recruited as a compliance officer, because everything we shared with him, she first gave us that grill. We were actually what's the interrogation when she interrogated us?
Don't do that.
Interrogating us, especially me. You know, hair falling out and all that. You know? But when she called back a week later on and said, everything you told us, we went to state and verified that. As a matter of fact, what you told us, they didn't even know about it yet. So she shared some things with them they should be doing, not aware of, or that department did. So I'm glad she did that. I really am. Online platforms for communication, we're referring to like scheduling systems, you know, what you're going to use, what type of platform you use for your phone system. It's going to be a web-based phone, or it can be a telephone or your cell phone. If it's your cell phone, use 2 different numbers, one for work, one for personal. Just keep that in mind. How to keep track of your customers, or you can use a note and paper and write down your customer's names and number, or you can have yourself like a contact management system. There's a lot out there, and I need to say something earlier about what servers they were using for these systems. We just don't share it over the internet because we're not sure how your business model is. What might work good for OnPointe Alliance may not work good for your business model or might not be big enough for your business model. But all that stuff is discussed when you take the training programs with the association to get you going the right direction. Because there's more than one scheduling system out there. There's more than one phone system out there. Hey, there's different cell phones out there. There's different gas stations, like you mentioned before, for getting gas. Right across the street, there's a Shell and there's an Arco. Same thing. But just keep that in mind for your online platforms there. Let's go ahead over to the final one here, because actually this is going pretty good. I'm surprised they're still on right now, so it's a good day for us. Got both of them at the same time. Productivity. We talked about this already a couple of times during this session here, but we're going to go ahead and continue with productivity before we close everything out. What I thought this session was going to be like went way off to the opposite side, and a lot more information, which is very good. So you guys who are taking advantage of this live streaming session or taking advantage of this ring streaming, hope you're taking good notes, because typically this information you're getting right now is in black and white in the training books, and you would have to go ahead and invest in your business to get this information. So I hope that you take some good notes, and like Travis mentioned earlier, rewind that video, rewind that tape, take some notes, because there's some good information here. You're not going to hear it again. I'll tell you that now. Not on this platform here, but some good information. Productivity. I'm going to back out of this right here and let them talk, because what they have to say is good information. And if something kind of crazy had to be said, I jump with something crazy. That just makes I keep things going. But guys, ladies, jump in any time about productivity. You mentioned already, but this is very important.
Like you can go, Travis.
No, I was just going to say in this, because we follow a good model that Arletha has set up. I was going to allow her to go ahead and take this one.
Oh, that preparation before office hours. We do everything ahead of time. We expect a great day and leave. So we do whatever is going to be a day before. We keep an eye on the calendar throughout the week. That way, that morning, we can get there 20, 30 minutes early and can kind of, open everything up, turn everything on and chill till our clients come and we're ready for them, leaving room for surprises. Post the schedule and adjustments. Absolutely keeping an eye on the schedule, knowing what's going on. One of the big things that used to be such a splinter, did they schedule in Eastern time and you're in Central time? So now three people show up at the wrong time, throw the whole day off, and then you're like, oh my God, So as people are scheduling, we actually go in and look at what they entered, make sure we're all on the same page, identifying tasks and priorities. Again, what's needed? Do we have everything? All of our supplies stay stocked. We have a system when it's time to restock, refill, things of that nature. I don't know. See, and then another thing, we're gonna pause. JW, this was a completely improv thing, so we didn't get to see these. Even though I made this PowerPoint, I didn't know that this one he was going to use, so we didn't get ahead of time. So I don't even know if I'm talking too much right now. So okay, so yeah, we do all of our inventory. We know when it gets to a certain point, refill this. So my thing is stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. I believe that
right.
My business and my life is gonna can change in the next phone call.
One phone call.
So I want to be ready when that big client come and say, hey, I want to send 500 people to you. I want to send all of my people to you. We ready. We not trying to catch up to what just happened. So I treat my business as where I'm going versus where I am. People think that we're a franchise. Yeah, we're part of a network. We're part of the National Licensing Association. However, it's not like a Subway or you know, something like that is set up already. And so it's how we treat our business. And so busy work, I don't know exactly. I can't remember what the
I
busy
got
work.
you.
Go ahead.
For busy work, I'm referring to sometimes people start a business or work from home or from office. They busy all day long, but they're not being productive.
Yes.
Busy work keeps you broke. That's the best I can put it. It keeps you broke.
I like
Busy work will keep you broke. Now, some
Yes.
folks like being broke, because that's the mindset. For years and years and years, I like being broke. So I thought it was saying busy. I'm gonna get that job one. I'm gonna go from French fries to a hamburger flipper pretty soon, like that. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just trying to say, busy work will keep you broke. Focus on productivity. Productivity means paid.
Yeah.
Okay, get paid, be productive. Stay broke, stay busy. Rewind that because I can't repeat that again. I'm
I
sorry.
know. Listen,
Get that
I
done.
want that on the t-shirt. I'm putting that on the
Go
t-shirt.
ahead, sir.
I would trademark that, but it's the truth. So a lot of folks start their business, and they'll need to touch this early on. Well, she had to get this done first. She thought she'd get this done first. She had to get the prices done first. She got to do all of this, right? No. If you want to get money, step out and start doing it. Well, I need my business cards first. No, I need to have a business plan first. All that makes sense. It does. It really does. However, you can't get paid until you start being productive. I don't care if it's the best looking website, the best grass out there, where the case may be, but you have to start being productive and adjust along the way. Adjust along the way and communicate with your clients that you're growing, that your organization or the organization, don't say that, well, my company, mine, or I, no, it's we. Other person not available right now. How can I help you? No, just certain things you got to say, but stay productive. The stuff as you're updating your database or you following your receipts, where case may be, that actually is done after hours. While the door is closed for business, after our business is closed for that particular day, then you start doing the busy work, updating your website, looking at your schedule for the next day, moving things around, putting things away, wiping down your work areas. Work case may, especially keep the clean evenings and mornings when you go to work. But be productive. And I'm gonna tell you, like for me, I'm productive as heck. I got a whole bunch of busy work. You can't see right now on this particular desk that needs to get done too. I just can't think like that. I just can't. That can be done with a virtual assistant. That could be done with one of the kids at your home. That could be done by someone you can bring on board. So once they finish fingerprinting for that day or that last hour, take them off the schedule for fingerprinting and have them do the busy work and get it out the way. But being busy keeps you broke. Being productive gets you paid. That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it.
And task managers, and this one that's free. Well, I guess it's can be free. Microsoft have to do. It's some free ones out there, and I just say them because it's like most of us got that on our computer that we just don't use. But some anything task managers, I'm saying animations and outsourcing, JW from day one. And especially, when your mentor sees something in you, he's like, you're gonna outgrow this, you're gonna outgrow that. You can do this now, but I'm telling you right now, in 4 months, you're not gonna be able to keep this. Da, 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 da. And the only thing I'm thinking is,
It's
well, this
free.
is what you say?
It's free. It's cheaper.
It's free, it's cheaper. And my budget is this. Well, I have a zero budget actually. And it actually costs more to switch over. So, and it was just because all I could think of, certain things mindset. So anyway, animations, I'll let some of this stuff now. Certain text messages I don't have to send, certain emails I don't have to send. We found something to replace that because we're too busy to be doing certain things. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's my thing. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So operate. Y'all are getting some good nuggets today. Operate in a place that you're going and not where you are.
I like that. I do.
That's a JW question.
Oh, I already got the answer. Sign up.
Yeah.
Sign up. Good morning. Is there a business model package to get started in fingerprinting business? Yes, we do have several business model packages to get started in fingerprinting. There's different types out there. So what we do is just go ahead and we contact you. Contact us after hours, after the session here or the live streaming session. Just send us better yet, schedule a session, speak to a member advisor, and we get you pointed in the right direction there. And just go to livescanchat.com. That's livescanchat.com. And schedule speak to a member advisor, and we get your questions answered for you there and point you in the right direction, and also get you enrolled, become a member of the National Live Scan Association. And you also mentioned that you are in Florida. So that's an open state, what some people call, where you could do live scans for that particular state. So those out there listening, if you reside in Florida, you're able to do live scans for the state of Florida. And also you can do ink card fingerprinting for the state of Florida too, where people can where they could come to your location. You can do ink card fingerprinting, give the fingerprints back to them, and they can mail them off to the out-of-state agency. And there's a few other things you guys do also in Florida too. Just won't go in this particular session, but you are in a good state to do different types of fingerprinting services, not just for the state of Florida, but also for other folks who want to come to Florida. So what I'm trying to say is, for those in Florida, you can service. Those outside of Florida, you can service those folks too, because you live in Florida. More about that on a different channel or a different session, I should say. But it's in a good position there. And for our website, again, let's go ahead and go back to the banners. Then this is a very good question, folks. We thank you for these questions, sir. Mm-hmm. And here it is right here.
May I say something, JW?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing to consider is with your business model, don't get it confused on, okay, what services I'm supposed to provide and all that. Business model includes how you, because the association going to tell you how to teach you how to operate in a certain integrity and a certain excellence, things like that. But what do you as a business owner, your personality is different from mine, different from JW's. My personality is different from Travis's. And what is it that you have to offer? What is it that you are willing to invest into your actual business, not just the learning how to do something? As you sign up for the class, so you have something to aim at. Because other than that, all of us, he don't clone us, So I had to have an ideal of what I would like to do once I learned how to provide the actual services. I hope that made sense what I just said.
All right. Yeah. Anything, Travis, at all you want to say?
Oh no, I just concur with what Arletha stated. It's again, and it's what I said earlier. It's all about what you bring to the table, because you can go be in that area like you are in Florida, and there may be several people there doing it. Find your niche and work it. Find your niche and work it.
That's true. What am I going to do now is end the session for the day. I want to thank everybody.
Awesome, Tasha. I was telling Tasha, awesome. She said yes. I said, I hope that makes sense. She said yes. So
good. I missed that one there too, but I'm glad.
They asked some good questions.
Yes, they all do. I want to thank everybody for that there too. Thank you all.
And I believe in you guys. You're going to do something great.
We do.
And just stay focused.
Yes.
And stay hungry. And be a sponge. You can't know everything. Even if you know something, it's stuff JW tell me all the time, and I just go, okay, yes. Mm-hmm. And if I know it, great. If I did it, great. I listen, and it's stuff I teach him all the time. And he's always writing, and that's why I can receive from him because I call him the wizard. This dude knows so much stuff.
Yes, he does.
But at the same time, he's constantly learning and absorbing even from us. So it helps me receive from him as well. So as long as you stay in that position, honey, or y'all listen, y'all gonna do some great things.